Seth Hatchell right to the back bumper of the 32. And this has been so hard to pass down here, but Emerson gonna clear Mayato. Not gonna go low. He's gonna try and fake the 48. Travato using the inside lane. Mayato now up half a groove. The second position looks for his first race. And hard contact. Mayato up in the air, up on the hood, on top of the Geico machine. All over his back bumper. And have to be very tactical with his moves. Oh, and hard under braking. Travato nearly locked it up there. St. Barrett's big slide out of turn number 1. Comes Chris Samar, Kevin Cornelius. They're going to make a charge in the third lane. Is it too little, too late? Are they going to have the run out of turn number 4? Mark Emerson down low. They're all going to wreck. Dennis Fairclough in the lead right now. Here comes Nick Gardner. Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway for the Outlaw Desert Racing 200 here tonight on V-Speed. 200 laps, 100 miles, stage break at lap 75. This is the second to last race of this season, the penultimate race for these championship contenders, and it should be a good one here tonight. My name's Adam Baker. I'm here with Michael Overstreet. Michael, how's it going?
Not too bad tonight, man. Looking forward to some good short track racing.
Yes, sir. Definitely looking forward to a little beating and banging, a little bit different than what we, well, not so different from what we saw last week, just a little different form factor in terms of the track size here tonight. We go from one of the longest tracks, or the longest track on the NASCAR circuit at Talladega, now to Bristol, one of the shortest and the fastest half mile on the NASCAR circuit. So it should be a really great race, and plenty of laps here to get it done tonight, but drivers will be fighting that track position battle, I think, almost all race long.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that is going to be key here tonight is figuring out how to make your car run where everyone else isn't. So if this is going to be bottom feeder or top feeder tonight, you got to try and make your passes either on the restarts or just changing your driving style altogether.
Yes, it's definitely one way or the other, and it can transition through this race. We've seen sometimes it's fast on the bottom to start, and then sometimes the top side. I personally love to run the bottom around this place, but it's not always the quickest way around here, but we'll see what these drivers can do, especially the championship contenders, as we take a look at the points now coming into this race. 2 drivers already locked in. That's going to be Seth Hatchell as well as Anthony Pelican, and then third place there in points, Zach Carr. He has the biggest margin to the cut line, but no one is safe here tonight. Any of those bottom 4 could find victory lane and lock themselves in, and any of those still above the cut line on points could get knocked out. So it's going to be a battle for every single spot. Keith Mayato, the first one out. Alec Martinez, Angelo Ronis, and Jeremy Miller all below that cut line. And Jeremy, after a couple of bad races to start this round, he's going to have to win to advance. I believe Angelo in the same boat, 31 points below the cut line. As we are done in qualifying, and sorry we got in here a little bit late. Some issues with the iRacing service. But we are at the track now and taking a look at the starting grid here tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway. Rolling off from the front row, it's going to be Ryan Gemmel, the V-Speed machine, starting from that top spot. Seth Hatchell, his teammate, already locked into the championship round. He'll start from second position. Rolling off from third, it's going to be James Loveland, the 56 machine. Zach Carr seeking another win. He's going to be rolling off from the fourth spot. Chris Samard starting in fifth here tonight, be alongside Dennis Fairclough in the Outlaw Desert Racing machine. Rolling off seventh, it's going to be Anthony Pelican. Eighth will be Alec Martinez. Alec looking for a victory tonight. Anthony already locked in. Reggie Ortega starts from ninth, and Dallas Sullivan going to be starting in the 10th position.
Keith Mayato is going to be starting 11th. with AJ Stravato starting 12th on his outside. Cody Adkins is 13th. Jeremiah Vincent out on the outside in 14th. Angelo Hronis, 15th. Hosea Vincent in 16th. And then Brandon Pearl, who is the first one to not make a quality time, is starting in 17th. Lyle Sulfridge and Lane Sulfridge, 18th and 19th. Timmy Emanuel, 20th. Alan Dice, 21st. And Zach Smith rounding out the top 22.
Right, pretty good sized field here. Should be a pretty good one. Not too many cars for this half mile. It's probably just the right amount, honestly. We've seen all kinds of races from this league at this racetrack. There was one race where only a few cars finished on the lead lap, and another one where we had a lot of guys in contention late in the going, and it came down to a one-on-one battle between, I believe it was Keith Maotto and Zach Carr. But really looking forward to how this race is going to progress. It's evening here to start the track. Let's take a look at the weather. 77 degrees, so pretty cool, and it will only get cooler as the night goes on. So should be plenty of grip for these guys out there, and we'll see how they make good use of it.
Absolutely. Looking forward to watching this here and calling it. I love short tracks, and any track that you can go up on the high side with, I'm all for. So this should be a good one.
Definitely looking forward to it. And drivers fighting for a chance at a championship. One of those who's already advanced, he's going to be starting from the outside of the front row here, but his teammate Ryan Gemmel going to be in control on this one, the 6 and the 8. Waiting for that green flag. There it is, off and away from Bristol Motor Speedway for the penultimate race here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series.
Gemmel gets a good launch off of the corner.
Yes,
Gonna
he
let
does.
Seth Hatch behind him.
Hatchell goes up to the high lane. Zach Carr already attacking him for second. Gemmel leads lap 1, and then the battle is on behind them. That is 4th position, Dennis Faircloth. Right now holding off Alec Martinez. James Loveland losing a couple spots early on. Chris Samard right there behind them. Anthony Pelican, Reggie Ortega, and Dallas Sullivan rounding out the top 10. Maotto and Stravato, two drivers who need good races. Currently outside the top 10 to start, and not exactly where we're used to seeing them.
But hey, here we are, 197 to go. It's a very long race. So long as they get into that top 10, by stage and try and, get up there to compete with the stage win, should be good to go. But it's going to be a matter of managing your equipment, especially in this series where you don't have quick repairs. You can't really fall back on that. Managing your tires as well. These tires fall off really fast here. And the last thing you want to do is pit under green and go 2 to 3, 4 laps down. So it's going to be manage this first 90% of this race, I believe.
And talking about pit stops, they do have 4 additional sets of tires tonight. It is 80% fuel load, so I believe they'll be able to go the 75 laps here in stage number 1. Don't think it'll be really any stretch to do so. So no fuel strategy necessarily coming into play tonight, which has been a factor in other races. We see Dennis Faircloth losing a few positions now. There goes Reggie Ortega to the high side. And Stravato still in 11th. Maotto has fallen to 14th, but might be in tire conservation mode. And just holding on back here for the moment till he can start to move back towards the front. But out in front, it is Ryan Gemmel, the 6 machine, still holding off Seth Hatchell, who's moved now to the inside. And they're doing the old switcheroo behind him. There's Zach Carr now goes to the inside lane. But they continue to run second and third. A few car lengths off of Gemmel. And then Alec Martinez, James Loveland doing battle there for the 4th and 5th positions. And Alec,
I've been watching this top 3 battle for the past 10 laps now, and Zach Carr has been very, very patient on the bottom. He's sticking his nose in there, but he's not forcing any issues. And you're gonna have to really, really be smart with making passes if you're gonna have a shot to win this thing tonight. And that's kudos to him.
Yeah, definitely going to need to be patient, and he doesn't have to go out there and win the race as long as he beats AJ Stravato and Keith Mayato in the points. I don't think anybody else can really reach him. The only danger is if he gets knocked out of this race in some fashion, he's going to be potentially out of the championship 4. But a 6-time winner this season, what a horrible round that would be if he ended up falling out. Really, the wild cards of Anthony Pelican and Seth Hatchell already with victories. It's a bit unexpected to see those two who are in the bottom 4 both collect victories in this round. But here goes Zach Carr now, big challenge down low. Gonna have a hard time making that pass as the V-Speed machines circulate around the top side. But he's getting a good shot at it right here.
Absolutely. That top side's got a ton of grip off the corners, it looks like. He a couple laps prior here, he ran the top when Seth Hatchell ran the bottom, as well as Ryan Gemmel. And he got a huge run on him, and by turn 1, he was underneath of Seth, and now we got this battle here. So that top is definitely coming in. But the catch-22 on that is how much damage is that doing to your tires running up there?
Yeah, the bottom surprisingly saves tires a bit more with the tighter radius. You wouldn't think that would be the case here, but you're putting so much load on the right sides up high, carrying all that speed. That it does really start to eat away. And we've seen Ryan Gemmel. He's mostly stuck to kind of a middle groove. And now actually kind of exiting low out of the corners, but he has not been able to stretch away as the drivers behind him have been battling.
Yeah, and I think that Ryan's kind of holding them up here. They definitely seem to be a little bit faster than him at the moment. They just can't figure out a way around him. I've been watching Gemmel here, and aside from right now, he's kind of been diamonding it. Like right here, he'll enter high and then exit a little bit lower, getting a big run off the corners. He's committed to the high line here. I don't think he realizes how clear he's going to be off the corner, but he's in defense mode now, just running that top side.
Yeah, Zach Carr made a move. He takes second away. Hatchell really sideways hangs onto it. And Now Zach Carr attacking for the race lead. He goes to the inside of Gemmel. And Zach, big slide up out of turn number 4, but he is definitely on the move. And Gemmel has been running that high side, has not really experimented with the low entry. And right now, Zach Carr able to run that inside lane to perfection. They're going to be nose to nose right there at the start-finish line. Gemmel just barely ahead. And as this group battles, that is bringing Alec Martinez and James Loveland, 2 well-known tire savers. They are coming towards the front now, and they are coming in a hurry, about a 10th.5 faster than Ryan Gemmel and Zach Carr on the previous lap.
Absolutely.
Also, Anthony Pelican is closing in. He's getting up there. Reggie Ortega and Chris Samard all starting to make good time on the top 3. And Gemmel continues to hold him off. Zach Carr has right front damage. He's caught the wall at some point. Must have been pushing just a little bit too hard, and so much for that patience early on.
Well, I think him and Ryan made contact down the backstretch a couple of laps ago. It looked like Zach got a little bit loose off of 2, and it looked like they made contact from my point of view, but it could have been catching the wall.
Yeah, and right now Gemmel's still able to hold him off. Zach Carr trying to fend off Seth Hatchell, who's closed back up, and Seth now going on the offense right here and trying to make up some ground. You can see Zach Carr is starting to slide out of these corners, and that's a bit of the danger of running down low. You can start to overheat the right rear instead of the right front, and it looks like he might be pushing pretty hard on the exit of the corner to just try and get a shot at that lead. But it's not working for him at the moment. Gemmel's still holding the high side, holding him off. And Alec Martinez, James Loveland, and the rest of these drivers in the top 10 starting to march forward. Here is AJ Stravato in 9th. Dennis Faircloth rounding out the top 10. Keith Mayato has moved back up to 11th. So he's on the move and matching lap times with the race leaders. Just got a little bit of ground to make up.
And that's always the difficult thing too when you're trying to be patient, is that you're faster than the leader and you're getting side by side with them, and you get in that mentality, okay, well, I just need to push a little bit harder so I can clear them, and then that person pushes a little bit harder because you're underneath of them, and then you start getting frustrated, and then soon after your patience is out the window. It's always a mental battle as well as a physical one.
That is for sure, especially around this place. The mental struggle is that you don't always remember which corner you're in. You're getting around here so quick, 15 and a half seconds per lap. That's 4 laps a minute. That's 16 corners a minute, and it just starts to eat away at you a little bit mentally. You can lose focus and can kind of lose that rhythm. And right now, these top 3, they've done a great job holding on to both of those things. And they've actually stretched back out on Alec Martinez, who looks like he might have made a mistake at some point. That group's starting to slip the wrong direction. As we were 3 wide right there, Travato to the high side. And he is slicing and dicing now, trying to take 6th away. Not too far back is Keith Mayato. He's closed up to 10th place, Dennis Faircloth. But meanwhile, the top 3, they are still going at it. Zach Carr, another attempt. He'll go down low. They're working towards the lap machine of Timmy Emanuele. And Timmy running in a special scheme tonight. That's a Ferrari-themed paint scheme. Some of his favorite sponsors all over that one. But he is about to go a lap down now to Ryan Gemmel. He'll just let the leaders go on their way. And Timmy, well off the pace right there. Not sure what's going on with his car, but 20th position, 1 lap down, as we've got battling now James Loveland and AJ Stravato. This is for 5th position. So Stravato saved tires early, and he is absolutely flying right now. But it's going to get harder and harder to pass the closer you get to the front.
Absolutely. And right now, these top 3 are starting to really break away. They're about a second and a half out from 4th place. I can't believe that all that battling those 3 were doing didn't tear up their tires, especially that big slide from Seth. They figured something out, because it's almost 2 seconds now in front, so they're flying right now. They're definitely setting the pace.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised with Alec Martinez. He was starting to move forward, and all of a sudden just seemed to fall off right there. He's kind of, he's about a 10th off the race leaders. AJ Stravato was closed up behind. He now goes to the outside of James Loveland. That will be 5th if he can complete the pass, and then this will give him a good position. If he doesn't get up there to battle for the stage, he'll at least potentially start stage 2 in the top 5, as Keith Mayato now climbs to 7th. Keith in almost a must-win situation with the amount of cars that showed up tonight. He's, I believe, 9 points back. He'd basically have to finish top 2 or 3, and the other guys would have to have a bad race. By their standards, they'd have to finish outside the top 10 or top 15 for him to make it. But it's not out of the question. Still less than a quarter of the way through. Anything can happen here.
Absolutely, anything can and will happen. It's just a product of short track racing, as well as Bristol.
Yep.
You go, like you were saying earlier, you go around here so fast, 4 times a minute, and anything, lap car spinning, someone in front of you spinning, and you not see it until you're on corner exit, or whatever the case is, and then by then it's too late. You can't really, jab the brakes and lock them up, anything can happen for sure.
Yep, things come at you fast here, and in some ways it's a self-clearing racetrack, but That is definitely not always the case, as Gemmel still holding off Zach Carr. Zach tried the inside lane. Here goes Hatchell, going to try that same move, but it does not appear the inside is useful this late into a run. Gemmel and Zach Carr holding the top side. They've now put a lap on Josiah Vincent. Zach Smith, the next one up the road, he is 18th, getting ready to go a lap down, just a couple of seconds in front of Gemmel. You also see Brandon Pearl, who appears to have a little bit of right front damage, maybe used his stuff up already. He is going the wrong direction. Right now, 17th position. And Gemmel now has been able to, well, I thought the 27 was out of the picture, but he was just out of the frame. He was down underneath him. And they're still going at it here. Top three separated by 0.3 of a second. And then Keith Mayato is now working on Alec Martinez for fourth. He's caught up to Stravato in that group of race cars. And now Keith trying to make that pass on the inside, having a hard time doing it. Good drive out of turn number 4 right there. He'll beat him to the line, but Alex still holds on next to him. This might be the pass this lap, but Mayato just still can't drive up out of the turn. It's too difficult this late in the run.
Absolutely. The tires start getting greasy. And I tell you what, these top 3 are hitting some pretty decent lap traffic here. Well, they just pulled over now, but I was getting a little worried there for them for a few minutes because they were running side by side right in front of them. But they made it through.
Yeah, that was Zach Smith and Brandon Pearl, and that has now set up an opportunity for Zach Carr. I think Gemmel brushes the wall right there, but Zach Carr just cannot capitalize. Here comes Hatchell with a huge run. He'll send it down into turn number 1 on the inside. Zach Carr, though, back to the throttle. He'll outrun him on the top side. It's just back and forth. That game of tug of war, and this is not working down low. But Gemmel gets the wall, leading the race, catches the wall. He'll get it again there, I think, in 1 and 2. And Zach Carr temporarily with the nose out front, but just cannot put the power down. Gemmel still hangs on to it. He hit the wall pretty hard right there, though.
Yeah. I got to see if he's got a little bit of right front damage there. His car, for the most part, looks pretty clean still. It's actually right rear damage. Little scuff on the right front fender, but that right rear quarter panels looks like a flag waving in the wind right now. So
yeah.
See how that does on the even longer run.
Yeah, I think he kind of tail slapped the wall, and that actually sent the nose up into the barrier. But this is just such an incredible battle among the top 3. I don't even want to look away, but while this is all happening, Alec Martinez has held off Keith Mayato for 4th, and now it's Keith and AJ battling for the 5th position, and AJ taking to that top side at this point might be able to hold him off. And then James Loveland, Chris Samard, Anthony Pelican, Reggie Ortega, the top 10, Dennis Faircloth right there, and try and get back into that top 10. Seth Hatchell is taken away second from Zach Carr. He's trying to get the lead back away. Almost does it right there. It'll be 10 laps to go in stage number 1 and no cautions. Hopefully I'm not speaking too soon.
Well,
the way they're racing.
Yeah, we'll see if Seth gets loose. He did get loose there. Man, he is doing a whale of the job. And as many times as he's gotten loose, he is the cleanest car out of the top 3 right now.
Everybody else has made contact with something, but Hatchell, I don't think has brushed the wall.
No, his car looks pretty clean as of right now. But I tell you what, the 2 that are on the move, and they have been continuously the fastest 2 cars for probably the last 20 laps now, is Keith Mayato and AJ Stravato. Not that lap, but most laps, it's been a couple of hundreds. Oh, Ryan in the wall again.
Just missed it. I was looking at the side-by-side with the 36 and the 33, but Gemmel, same thing. Actually, a little bit worse this time, and that will hand the race lead to Zach Carr. and Hatchell can't get by his teammate there. He'll stay in third, but definitely got to give it to
caved
Seth
in.
Hatchell. He has been on a roll here in this round of the playoffs. He won the first race. He could have won last week at Talladega, only to get wrecked there coming out of turn number 4. And then he's got a good run going tonight, running in the top 3 this whole time. And here comes Alec Martinez now into 4th and into this battle. But it's going to be too little too late. I think Zach Carr, he's pulled away now 3/4 of a second. Hatchell's starting to close back up a little bit.
Yeah, I figured as soon as Zach cleared him, he was going to be, for the most part, gone. And like I said, I think Ryan was kind of holding those two up a little bit. But Seth is running him back down here. I don't know if he'll have quite enough time to get to him, but they're pretty equal. Seth is about a tenth faster that last lap.
Yeah, and this is a good racetrack for Seth. He did win here in the earlier race this season. That was his first of 2 victories so far. But I believe he's had some very strong runs at this racetrack in the past, in this league and in other leagues. As we are on the last lap of stage 1, looks like Zach Carr closing up on Alan Dice and Timmy Emanuele again. We'll see if Zach cuts Alan a break here, but it doesn't look like it. He is going to put him a lap down, and Zach Carr will win stage number 1. The caution flies. 27 machine able to get the lead at the end there, drive away with it for the most part. He will win the stage, and these guys are going to be happy to get a pit stop, get some fresh tires on.
Absolutely. These, especially the top 3. I mean, they have definitely used their equipment up.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They were flying, and Alec Martinez was closing in, so he saved, I think, maybe just a little too long. Didn't leave enough time for himself at the end there, but he may have learned something, and the top 3 have probably learned quite a bit racing that hard. But Carr will lead them down the pit road and towards their cruise. It looks like Alan Dice will get the lucky dog. That will give us what appears to be 18 cars, well, 19 for the moment, as drivers' lap cars have not brought it in just yet. They'll go a lap down if they elect to pit. There goes Alan right there. And Zach Carr will win the battle off. Battle for second. Looks like Gemmel and then Hatchell and Alec Martinez. AJ Stravato rounds out the top 5, but it is Zach Carr, your stage winner. Let's see if we can pull him up in the booth here and get a quick word with him for that intense battle.
Hi.
Zach Carr, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
I got you.
Oh, what a battle up there, man. That was pretty intense. You and Ryan and Seth all going for the race lead, and it seems everybody hit a little bit of something. You got a little right front damage, but the car's still feeling all right?
Yeah, it's a little bit tighter, but you know it's not enough to, I think, cost us anything. I checked the tire wear there; it was pretty standard. So, I think we were faster than those two that run. I just think I think Ryan burned it up pretty early, and he was just trying to hold on. So, it's Bristol. We can't really pass out here, to be honest with you. The bottom lane, I mean, it has speed, but based off what I was gathering, it top lane for some reason is just a little bit better. So. It was just trying to manage the teammates there, trying to figure out if I wanted to be in the top and protect my spot, or if I wanted to go to the bottom and try to make something happen. Or
yeah, it seemed like it was all the momentum in picking which line, and you really had to make that pass early on. It looks like some guys farther back are saving their stuff and starting to charge towards the front. But what's going to be the goal here early on in stage 2?
I mean, early on in stage 2 is just try to get settled in. Anytime at Bristol, if a caution comes out, no matter what it's for, it tends to breed more cautions. Everybody gets kind of a little bit more ramped up, close racing again. So I'm just hoping we can just have the same thing like in stage 1, where we just got a little spread out. Everybody got settled into their groove, So if we can just get that, I'm going to try to save the tires the best I can and hope to keep the lead as long as I can.
Yes, sir. 27 Machine stage winner once again this season, and out in front, looking good. Good luck the rest of the way.
I'm taking the top. Yeah, thank you.
He's going to pick the high side. We heard him just there talk over the radio. And that might be a key decision. We saw Gemmel obviously with the inside on the initial start, but now Zach going to pick the outside lane. And he'll have Alec Martinez, who is pretty aggressive on restarts, right there behind him. And then Keith Mayato and AJ Stravato have moved their way to 5th and 6th. So definitely some big progress made by those two.
Yeah, and if they can keep that track position or close to it and still save them tires, they will give these top 4 a run for their money here as we get ready to go green again.
There it is, green flag back in the air. Zach Carr, good jump over Gemmel, and now the battle for second is going to be Alec Martinez, who's in that preferred groove. He's going to power right around the outside, and Gemmel going to try and slot up in front of his teammate, but here comes Hatchell. Not going to give him the space to do so. And Gemmel, big wiggle right there, but able to hang on to it. And here comes Keith Mayato as well. And Gemmel, oh no! Going to get Mayato, his teammate.
Oh,
and no caution. Now the yellow flies. And
that was a huge wiggle.
And that is disaster, as Ryan Gemmel, who had so much of this race, going to be out of it, I think, for the most part here, and got into his teammate, who's battling to make it into the championship 4, and that will definitely hinder his progress here tonight. Taking a look back at it, Gemmel just really sideways up across the track. He got 2 teammates there, actually, with Chris Samard involved, and then it looks like Dallas Sullivan got a piece of him. Let's just see if we get another view of this. Was not able to get to that high side and struggling down low. We had mentioned it. He had not run down there. Just lost it. Big overcorrect. Flex the teammates, and then Dallas Sullivan just couldn't sneak through on the high side. But that may have knocked the rear axle out of the 6 machine too. He's still on pit road and may call it a night.
He towed after that hit, that last hit. Yeah, I think he might be done for the night, unfortunately.
We'll have to see how much damage Mayato has, but he definitely took a big hit there, and he's still on pit road. He may go a couple laps down here to try and get the majority of that fixed. As the leaders, there go the leaders right now. Chris Samard also on pit road, so 3 of the 4 V-Speed cars collected in that wreck. The only one still out there is Seth Hatchell, running in 3rd, and that promotes Alec Martinez to 2nd. This will be another interesting restart with Zach. We'll see what lane he picks, and for Alec, what Alec is able to do to time the restart.
But in all honesty, I think the person sitting in the best position right now will be AJ Stravato on that restart. Because I'm assuming that Zach is going to take the outside again, just because based off of that launch. And if AJ can get a good launch with him, he will clear Alec Martinez coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, and AJ and Zach, I believe, are teammates, so they might be working together here and actually synchronize the restart. And with Keith Mayato kind of out of the picture after that wreck, that gives a big breath of fresh air probably to AJ Stravato, who, his main challenger to lose the last spot in the top 4 was Keith Mayato. Now it'll be Alec Martinez, who does run in front of him, but that gap is going to be, I believe, 11 points at the start of this race. So he's going to have to beat him by 11 spots or win the race. Still so much time to figure that out. But it looks like
Keith Mayato is still on pit road, 3 laps down now, so he might be done as well.
And might have a blown engine. He did take a big impact, and the car came off the ground. Never a good sign.
Absolutely.
But it'll be that car electing the high side. Alec Martinez down low. Hatchell, Stravato, Ortega, the top 5. As we should be going green here. Pace truck going to make the hard left-hand turn. See if the teammates work together. They do. Good jump for Stravato. And Martinez going to have an incredible set of corners here. And he does get a good run, and Stravato in the wall.
That was a good lick, too. we'll see how that fares on the long run here.
Yeah, he's holding his own right now for third, but Hatchell down low. Gonna try and make something happen. He can't get around him now. Can't slot into line. But yeah, that was a big hit there, and you never know what that can do to the cooling in a car, and especially tire wear though with the right front caved in like that. It's gonna be pretty tough on the long run speed, as you mentioned. And I think they'll have to make a pit stop at some point. This seems like it might be a little bit too far on the 80% fuel. But we'll have to wait and find out. It's gonna get interesting late on in the going here. Angelo Ronis, we haven't talked about him much. He's up here in 7th now. Another driver in top 8 in points who needs a win to advance. And he's doing his very best out here. Started in the 15th position, up 8 spots, and has seen one of his challengers in front of him get knocked out, and now another one into the wall. So
just manage your equipment, like I said before. Everybody's, I think they get used to these warm, slick tires, and not taking into account the cold, low air pressured tires. That could be disastrous, as we've seen so far the past 2 restarts, with getting loose off the corners. But
yeah, especially exiting low out of the corner like Gemmel was, that's a recipe for disaster at this racetrack. And it really bit him. We've seen Stravato and Hatchell both have issues with that. As looking at Angelo Ronis, he almost made a pass on James Loveland, not able to do so. But Angelo has been maybe one of the most consistent drivers and has made it the round of 8 on consistency alone. Having another one of those Angelo Ronis nights up here in the top 10 and minding his own business. But actually, he has shown some good speed, and we'll see if he can start to drive up and catch these leaders. But just about halfway now, and most of the drivers in the top 10. And we do have a yellow flag. I don't know.
I don't see anybody around. I heard tires screeching.
Could have been Timmy Emanuele. Taking a look here. I think it was in front of him. The 00 Brandon Pearl, I believe, bringing it out here. Let's go take a look. Yeah, he got tagged by the one of Zach Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he caught the wall first on the straightaway and then gets run into by Zach Smith. Able to save it, but turned far enough around that generated the yellow flag. So Brandon 1 lap down, able to continue, and Timmy Emanuele should get the lucky dog. He will. He goes back around the leaders there. Oh, and Zach Carr almost cut it down into pit lane. Thought better of it, though. And no takers.
Wonder if he was trying to fake somebody into going in.
Yeah, no takers on this round. We'll see. I think Brandon Pearl, actually, yeah, the lap cars are going to bring it in. Keith Milo is...
looks like the only lead lap car is the 46 of Dallas Sullivan that jumped into the pits.
He does have that left front damage from hitting Ryan Gemmel. So not going to fix that on this stop. He may come back around. You don't have a lot of opportunity to fix much damage here, unfortunately, without losing laps.
Absolutely. You get about 20 seconds per, and that's if you don't take anything and you get marks really good.
Mayato is back on track. He is 13 laps down, and Chris Samard has returned to the racetrack. He is 3 laps down. Ryan Gemmel has taken it behind the wall. And then we have 15 cars on the lead lap. Dallas Sullivan currently last of those. 46 machine. Way back up to his correct grid position. But Zach Carr still in the race lead, and Alec Martinez going to be restarting alongside him once again. This time AJ in 3rd. So we'll have to see how how those drivers communicate with each other and how they get this restart in sync. Reggie Ortega also a teammate, I believe. So they've got 3 of the 4 cars there. They're probably all going to time it together, and Alec Martinez will be the odd man out.
Yeah, but Alec did a really good job that last restart to stay with AJ Stravato off of turn 2 before AJ got loose, or excuse me, in the middle of 1 and 2 before he got loose. And so if he can get another good launch here, he may be able to stick up with Zach. So pace car makes that hard left, and here we go.
Yep, green flag back in the air once again. Zach Carr, good jump, and now side by side is Alec Martinez and Reggie Ortega's. AJ Stravato did not get going, so the battle is for second position. And here goes Alec now, looks to the inside for the lead, but going to lose all that time on exit. He'll slide into line behind the 22 of Reggie Ortega, who climbs up to the top spot. Reggie has not found victory lane this season, and he'd sure like to spoil the party here tonight.
Absolutely. I think any of these top 5 would love that. But, one thing that I noticed different from as the caution comes out again, looks like
the 57 of Alan Dice.
I think the one of Zach Smith.
Yeah, I think the one of Zach Smith. Oh yeah, my timing and scoring showing Alan Dice as stopped, but that is not the case. It was definitely Zach Smith who had a hard impact into the inside wall after getting involved in the previous caution. Let's see how this happened.
Got a good exit. Exited low and just got loose.
Yeah. Back end just got light. He lost it. And nobody else gets into him, which is good, but he does take it straight to pit lane. And a bad night gets even worse for Zach Smith, who goes now 3 laps down. Looks like Keith Mayato brings it back to pit lane. He'll exit now. He's lost a few more laps. He'll just have to hope that we get a lot of cautions and he can get that all fixed and be able to at least finish the race. That's his best opportunity, but at this rate, it's going to be very difficult to make it.
Everyone but Alec Martinez, Jeremiah Vincent, Alan Dice, the 46 of Dallas Sullivan, all came down pit road. Those 4 stayed out. So this will really get interesting here on this restart.
Yeah, definitely going to be very interesting. These guys on the old tires, some of varying ages. Looks like Dallas Sullivan, the freshest, he only has 8 laps on his. He'll have the best shot to probably go up there and pass those guys, but he does have the left front damage. And then Keith Mayato's right in the mix here. I don't know if he's going to get sent to the back or not. I would think I would think he and Timmy Emanuele. Timmy Emanuele is up there in 4th position, so I think Keith will end up getting shuffled out of the mix here.
Yeah, he probably stayed out hoping that everyone would jump down pit road and at least get one of them laps back as a wave around. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen this go around.
There he goes onto the apron, going to let all those guys pass. Alec Martinez is going to be the leader here, and a driver who's below the cut line has seen his championship rivals really have problems here tonight.
I like this call. Let everybody else burn a set of tires, save it. You may lose a few spots here, but late race caution comes out, and if you have a set and they don't, it's game on. So I like this call. I like those, those odd strategies that you typically won't see. But it's make or break right now here.
Yeah, and we've had 4 cautions so far in the first 110 laps. 2 lead changes. That one going from Ryan Gemmel to Zach Carr, and now the next from Zach Carr to Alec Martinez. This one under yellow. So it has not been exciting at the front, but only 2 passes for the race lead, and only one of those under green. We'll have to see if anybody has anything for Alec Martinez. You see Jeremiah Vincent, I believe Alec's teammate, they may time the restart here. Jeremiah lagging back just a little bit, trying to get a Little run up to it. Pace truck onto pit road. Green flag back out. And a good jump. And a tire spin there for the 46 of Dallas Sullivan. He went backwards a little bit. Now he's trying to fight off Alan Dice, but he's in the wall.
Didn't slow any momentum, just a kiss. It's a Bristol stripe right there.
And Dallas, with the fresher tires, needs to start making use of them, as he's got brand new tires behind him. That is Zach Carr, already up to 4th position, and he's bringing Anthony Pelican with him. And there's Dennis Faircloth also on the same strategy. And you got Angelo Ronas, Seth Hatchell, and a few others behind. They all work around the top side. And Alec Martinez about 4 car lengths in front. In battle for 3rd, there goes Zach Carr. He's going to look low now. Almost gets Jeremiah Vincent. And we were almost 3 wide there as he checked up.
That was almost our next caution.
That was almost the
he
next.
sent it in, and he got blocked or something, happened, and the 9 was there, and I don't think Zach was expecting it.
Yeah, I think
try 2 for 1.
Miscommunication probably, as Zach thought that Jeremiah was going to stay high, and now look at this, Jeremiah freight trained. As there goes Dennis Faircloth, he'll go to 4th position. He completes this pass. What a night that would be for the Outlaw Desert Racing Machine. And of course, Outlaw
Get it here.
Yeah, he did get it. Jeremiah Vincent falling back a little bit now. The battle is going to be for the race lead. Here comes Zach Carr working to the inside of Alec Martinez. 30-lap difference in tires. And we'll see if Alec can hold him off. He's held him off now for 1 lap. How many more can he do that? Anthony Pelican's charging now too. And it's going to be go time here pretty soon. We're about 120 laps into it. It'll be 80 to go next time by. And this is the battle for the race lead. Alec Martinez in a position pretty much at this point. It'd be very close on points with AJ Stravato back in 12th and heavy damage. I mean, AJ already come from the back once, and I think he'll probably do it again here. So the pass now, Zach Carr takes it away. And he's going to look to run away. With Alex still holding up the 99 and the 80.
Absolutely. In the past couple of laps here. Oh!
And Anthony Pelican in the wall.
Yeah, Anthony Pelican in the wall. The 80 of Dennis has been getting sideways off of almost every corner. So he has got to be, I know he's driving really hard right now, but he has got to be burning them tires off.
Anthony Pelican limping to pit road. Did he lose an engine or run out of fuel or something like that? I don't know what is going on here, but he is very slow. Like he's almost not under power.
Go back and look at that real quick and see. Oh, his motor popped.
Oh, wow. Revving too high for too long or something like that. But yeah, loses the engine. So that's Anthony Pelican. And man, is he sure thankful he found victory lane last week, because this would have been elimination for him.
Either that or it was a tire.
It sounded like the engine.
Yeah, but it was weird though, because the left side was down. But I definitely saw that white smoke come out.
Yeah, he's taking it behind the wall. He'll join Zach Smith, Keith Mato, and Ryan Gemmel all behind the wall. 17 drivers remain out of the 22 that started. And how about this? Dennis Faircloth to 2nd position. The Outlaw Desert Racing Machine and the Outlaw Desert Racing event having a great race here tonight. And I was about to say it before that whole incident with Anthony Pelican. If you want to learn more about Outlaw Desert Racing and their services to help veterans with adrenaline therapy, go learn more at the link in the video description. And they would appreciate your support. Really great services to help support veterans, and looks like a really fun service as well. But we'll show a commercial here if we get another yellow flag to tell you more about them. Right now it is Zach Carr out in front by almost a second. And Seth Hatchell's moved to 4th. Angelo Ronas in the top 3. Just been hanging around, and he found an opportunity, and he is making the most of it right now.
Absolutely, and the top four are within a tenth of each other. Top five, rather, with lap times. They're all finding that consistent rhythm. And one thing that I've noticed is Zach's back at the bottom here. He's not really running the middle lane or the top lane anymore. I think now that he's gotten a little bit of a gap, he can kind of save them tires a little bit on that bottom.
Yeah, and it can be sometimes a bit more comfortable, and you can find a good rhythm down there. Clean air. He's got the full racetrack. He is making good lap time. He's actually a bit quicker than Dennis Fairclough, though. Seth Hatchell was just about 0.2 faster than him.
Yeah.
So Hatchell on the move here. He takes third away from Angelo Ronis. And also, James Loveland was a bit quicker on the previous lap. We'll see what they are this time, much closer. Almost right on top of each other in lap time. So Hatchell found something right there and had an incredible lap. But they've all settled back out. And the gap over 1.1 seconds to Dennis Fairclough, now 1.2. Dennis starting to fall off a little bit from the 27's pace.
And it's not much either. It's only a couple hundredths of a second. Yeah,
it'll add up.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is. I mean, it's up to 1.3 now.
Yeah, 1.3 now. 1.4 is. We'll see what the lap times are at the line. Just 200ths faster, but Hatchell almost a tenth quicker than Zach Carr. So that's going the right way for him. Fairclough just slowly losing a little bit here and there. Hatchell gaining chunks now and then, and everybody else is a bit slower than those two.
And I wonder if Seth was kind of being a little bit more conservative on that start, whereas Zach was flying through the field. So he may have damaged the tires a little bit or overheated them a little, and that might be that difference that we're seeing here, as he was 0.2 faster that lap.
Yeah, James Loveland, the fastest car on the racetrack that time, and James well known for saving tires. As battle for second, here goes Hatchell to the inside, and Dennis Fairclough gonna pretty much give him that spot, it appears. And Seth will take it away now into turns 3 and 4. And now it's a straight shot up to Zach Carr, other than the lap machine of Lane Sulfridge. Jimmy Emanuele catches the wall right alongside the race leader. He'll go back a lap down.
The 71 of Lane Sulfridge just got into the wall right in front of Seth Hatchell.
It's always interesting here. It's the same with Martinsville. You're never away from the action, even if you want to be.
Exactly.
Right now, Zach Carr holding on to a solid lead, 1.2 seconds up the road from Seth Hatchell, who is leading this next group of race cars, and they work past the lap machines. We're going to go to a quick side-by-side commercial break. We'll be back with around 50 laps to go. Don't go anywhere. right, and back at the racetrack now, Zach Carr continuing the lead, but Hatchell slowly chopping away. The gap now under 1 second up to the 27 machine. Meanwhile, AJ Stravato, a driver who needs to have a real solid night, he's up to 6th. He's actually bypassed Alec Martinez, who is out here on 75 lap old tires and still hanging on inside the top 10, but not where he needs to be. He's really looking at a win to advance at this point, with as many cars out of the race and as many cars a lap down as we have. But
Yeah.
it's been exciting here.
Absolutely, you know, and as these laps wind down, that strategy is just kind of dwindling, in my opinion. You know, if everybody still has a set, you know, we get you know, 1 or 2 cautions at the end. I mean, it's not going to make a difference here, because if everybody still has a set, then that strategy is out the window. But
and he is racing hard right now too. I mean, I don't know if you see him, but he is up in the wall now in front of Reggie Ortega. Yeah, and it doesn't matter how many tires you got left if the car is wrecked. So
exactly. And you know, honestly, I am very surprised that he has held on to the top 10. With you know that what is it, 32 lap difference in tires.
yeah,
He's racing around right now, but he's done a whale of a job, that's for sure. But again, you know, 80 lap tires, you're starting to see that fall off here from him.
yeah, he's consistently a 10th or 2 slower than the cars around him. It's just so hard to pass at this point in the run. For everybody else, they've got 50 lap old tires, which, you know, it's not like they're, you know, fresh on the race car. It's a lot of wear on those tires. As Seth Hatchell, well, we've been talking about Alex. Seth Hatchell has driven up now about a half second behind Zach Carr, and he is trying to get up there and win what would be his second race in this round of 8. Zach Carr in a good position to move on. He just needs to finish this thing, and he is putting up a pretty good pace right now. Those two by far the fastest on the track. And AJ Stravato now challenging. This is going to be for 4th. He gets sideways, racing with Angelo Ronis and Dennis Faircloth. But AJ's had an incredible recovery with the damage on that car. He was 12th on the restart.
Yeah, AJ's been slowly kicking him off here. Yeah, I think that that damage is kind of hurting him a little bit, but I also wonder if maybe he was saving his equipment just to counteract that excessive tire wear, or he's just getting used to how it handles. But he is definitely moving forward if he can figure out a way past the 80 machine of Dennis Faircloth there. He might be able to run down James Loveland.
Yeah, Loveland's had a pretty good pace. He's pretty close in times with the top 2. He's actually gained quite a bit. He was 2 seconds back from Zach Carr. And speaking of which, Hatchell has closed the gap up now about 4 car lengths, the race lead, and we are closing in towards the end of this race. Just 35 laps to go. Make it 34 as they cross the stripe. So it's heating up for a pretty intense battle, and this is so similar to what we saw. I believe it was I think it was last season at this racetrack. It came down, I believe it was Stravato and Mayato. That was the combo fighting for it in the last laps. And it came down to these two, basically the same tires. One car was faster on the long run and just could not quite make the pass, but it was a drag race to the line. And Hatchell, the way he's closing, he might have a good shot at making that pass.
Yeah, and now Zach's gone back down to the bottom here, but he moved up top there for a little bit, and he's just trying to, I think he's trying to, at this point, just make Seth wonder where he's going to run, try and take away that dirty air and that, or, you know, take away the clean air, rather, and the guessing game begins.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a little wiggle there from Zach Carr out of turn 4. Hatchell, I think, tapped the wall on the last lap out of turn 2. Caution.
Oh.
The 18 of Alec Martinez finally something gives, and he goes around. Might actually be lapped here. He is lapped the way that it cycles out, so that is not going to work out for him. He'll have to take a wave around, and that is definitely not going to work for him. But let's go back and see what happened here to him.
He got used and abused at Martinsville.
So he's racing it up with Reggie Ortega. And I think Cody Adkins was somehow involved in this one. He's up there on the high side. Oh, he just gets sent. Ortega, and then turned around even further by the 81. Could not get back going up to speed before Zach Carr got to him. Those old tires, that was a big factor there. He couldn't even get through the gears, but here we go. Maybe the last pit stop of the race. Who is going to win the battle off? Zach Carr off the jack. Here comes Hatchell as well. Drag race, Zach Carr to the line. Then Hatchell, then Loveland. Really the three best cars, I think, left in it at this point. But Jeremiah Vincent, he gets the lucky dog. I think. Or, yeah, I think he does. Yeah, there he goes. The leaders go back around him. But he does get the lucky dog. He'll have a shot to at least finish on the lead lap here. But it's coming down to it. It's going to be about 25 to go. It's all said and done. That car right where he needs to be. Hatchell could go for another win here. James Loveland looking for his first career win in the Cup Series. A winner at Chicago in the Xfinity cars last season, but has not had the success in the Cup Series, at least consistently, we would have expected, but having a good run tonight. Dennis Faircloth, one of his best races of the season, and then AJ Stravato trying to also win and lock his way in. You get it done running in 5th right now.
Absolutely, anything can happen, especially on these restarts with these cold tires. And that was what the longest run that we've had so far, I think, tonight. Or no, sorry, maybe for Alex Martinez, but no,
I think
I
it was
guess
still
the
60,
first stage.
60 or so laps. I mean, it was still a long run.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I'm really surprised here that I know Alec wants to get back on that lead lap, but this is 97 lap old tires at this point.
And everybody else still has, I think, at least one set. He's just going to hope for a yellow flag and hope that he can come down and take some and maybe make up some spots. But I think his shot at advancing, unless there's something crazy that happens, is pretty much out the window with that wreck there. But we'll get the restart this time. Zach Carr electing to take the high side. Seth Hatchell to his inside. Then it'll be James Loveland 3rd, Dennis Faircloth 4th, AJ Stravato 5th, Angelo Ronis, who needs to win to advance, going to be starting from the 6th position. You know what? I just realized Jeremy Miller never showed up for this race, so he was a must-win situation. Obviously, not here, you can't win, so he's going to be out no matter what. And Zach Carr, there we go, green flag back in the air. Good jump for the 27. Dennis Faircloth comes right along with him.
Absolutely, and the race is on for second as Dennis gets loose off of turn 2, and they are still side by side, him and Hatchell. But I think the high side, they get together.
And Stravato involved in it. And a big stack up here as Faircloth went around, caught Hatchell. And so for the second week in a row, Hatchell running up there towards the front gets collected. And Dennis Faircloth comes to rest here at the entrance of pit lane. But that's going to change things as Angelo Ronis now moves to second. He's got a shot at the win. And he needs to win to move on. And Dennis Faircloth's car destroyed after that one. What was going to be a good night for him goes south very quickly. Let's see how they were. He just got loose on the high side, very similar to what we've seen. And that collects Hatchell. And then up across the track, Stravato nowhere to go for him. Then he gets tagged a bunch more times. Taking a look from AJ's view, just nothing he could do. This could be horrible for him, and that will give Alec Martinez an opportunity to take tires. This could be AJ Stravato getting eliminated with that accident. Able to continue on. Hatchell able to continue on with some pretty significant right side damage after what was a great night for him. And Alec Martinez on pit lane right now taking tires. Looks like he might get out on track around the 10th position. What a break that would be. It's exactly what he was looking for.
Yep, absolutely. Now he's just got to make the most out of these final dwindling laps because they are going quick.
And they continue to click off under yellow flag right here. 6 cautions in this race. Actually has been, you know, what I'd consider a clean Bristol race. 3 total lead changes, so not a whole lot going on in terms of passing for the race lead, but that car, he's been out here 100 laps now, so dominating. Once Ryan Gemmel was out of the way, he has not really relinquished the top spot.
Absolutely. He's done everything that he needs to do at this point. Just has to seal the deal. But, God, you know, I really feel for some of these guys, you know, getting caught up in that. But the one person that doesn't really need to worry about it is Seth Hatchell. You know, with the because he's already advanced, and I'm sure with the past 2 races now, he is thankful that he has that to fall back on for sure.
He is somehow making it work.
Yeah, I mean, especially with these this track, you know, it's a short track, and typically aero doesn't really matter at short tracks that much. But this is a fast short track, and I'm really surprised that that's not hurting him more.
He's now starting to settle in here a few car lengths back as that car continues to lead. Now, Alec Martinez, this is the battle to watch because I think Alec might be moving on. Well, actually, no, he's going to be fighting with AJ Stravato for the final transfer spot. AJ sitting 15th. He is still on pit road. His night might actually be over. And Alec Martinez marching forward. He's up to 8th. He needs about 4 more spots, maybe 5 more spots. He has led laps here tonight, so I think 4 spots would do it for him. And right
Angelo Coronas just took 2nd.
The drivers stepping up when they have to. It's going to be tight here, though, as Angelo Ronas a long ways to go. Here comes Loveland. Big run on the bottom. He'll take 3rd away, looking for a podium finish. Maybe a victory if he can, get the horses going here, and just not able to get out of the corner right there. And the gap about a half second from Ronas to Zach Carr. 10 laps to go at the stripe this time. Alec Martinez still in 8th. He needs 4 more positions to pass AJ Stravato in the points. He's looking for a couple of those right here. Hatchell on the high side, actually on equal tires with him. And then Jeremiah Vincent, slightly older tires, but Alec can't do anything with either of them right now. But this is incredibly important, that battle back there. As Angelo Ronas starting to chip away at the race lead. It's now 0.4 of a second. And
Angelo is driving his heart out right now. Him and James have been consistently the fastest two, and they are definitely gaining on Zach at the moment.
Angelo Ronas is shutting his engine off in the corner. Or he just did, maybe trying to keep the engine cool. I don't know what that was. He shut it off, though, in 1 and 2. We've seen an engine pop already, and the laps are winding down. He's not going to be able to afford to do that. He's lost time doing that. Now closes up a little bit more. It's still 0.4 of a second, and James Loveland, heavy pressure there for the 3rd spot. And things are getting crazy back a little ways. Alec Martinez not able to make up much ground. He gets, I believe, passed up. That was Alan Dice that went around him. And Alec with a bit more damage than he had before. 5 laps to go. And Zach Carr out in front. The gap 3.5 tenths. Angelo Ronas is closing once again. Can he win and advance? He's only got 4 more laps to do it. And he is closing. He's going to have the best 3 laps of his life. And now still shutting the engine off. Not sure what is going on with that. 2 laps to go now.
Yeah, I know that I kept hearing that the harder you run in these cars here, for whatever reason, you start overheating. And I feel like that's probably what's going on here.
A white flag in the air, and Zach Carr, he's trying to hang on for his 7th race win of the season. And he is going to do it. He'll hold off Angelo Ronas moving to the championship round. Zach Carr wins at Bristol. Ronas 1 spot short. Alec Martinez wrecking across the line. He'll finish 6th. To AJ Stravato's 15th. It's not going to be enough. I think he'll come up 1 position short. So Alec Martinez, I believe, going to miss by 1 point when we do the calculations. We'll have to find out. But Zach Carr, no matter what, he's moving on, and we expected it. And he came out here and performed, leading so many laps, 120 with a 200 laps run, and able to hold them all off there in the closing moments. So congrats to Zach Carr, another victory this season. And I think he'll be the favorite going in next week. We'll have to wait and find out. Be right back to interview him and the rest of the top 3 after a quick commercial break. The most challenging issue veterans face is reintegrating back into civilian life. This is increasingly hard with combat veterans that have witnessed the brutal environments of war. The issues they face include the sense of not having a purpose, the lack of camaraderie, and no longer being on a team. Adrenaline Therapy's mission is to bring veterans out of their element and introduce them to the fun and relaxation of the off-road. This is a way to help make these veterans feel a part of something again. This is what we call adrenaline therapy. In doing so, our goal is to help eliminate the 22-a-day epidemic of veteran suicide. Learn more. back at the racetrack now. Going to be pulling in our race winner here tonight. That is Zach Carr. Zach, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
I got you.
Well, man, it was kind of crazy at different points tonight, but overall, you put on a dominating performance. You lead 120 laps and the stage after starting in 4th place. You go on to the Championship 4 now next week. And how are you feeling?
Feeling good. Not because of the Championship 4, but because of the win mainly. I mean, I feel like 2 weeks ago I already knew mentally that I was going to be going there. So tonight was just for fun mostly, and Bristol's one of my more favorite tracks, so it was really enjoyable to race. Early on was, I think, my most enjoyable part of the race with the V-Speed guys, Gemmel and Seth there. That was some really fun racing earlier when you talked to me about that. So the rest of the race, though, went pretty good. I hope AJ made it. I don't know where we're at in points for AJ, but I hope he did because, man, he got really screwed over tonight, in my opinion. So hoping for him. But, no, the race was good. The only problem I'd say on the second stage we really had was the car started getting tighter. Also early in the run, a lot of people were complaining about the temps getting up. So that last quick run we had to the finish there, I was trying to watch my teammate Angelo see because he was catching me, but then I looked at my temps and I was getting up there, so I was trying to have to manage the temps and Angelo. So I ended up having to go to the bottom there, let the car cool down a little bit. But overall, it was a good race and really fun one.
Yeah, we were watching Angelo. He was actually shutting the car off while still running that high side, and I don't know if that was helping him or not, but he would start to lose a little bit of ground to you every time he did that. But yeah, it was exciting. If he won, he was moving on, and that whole thing. And I think AJ did actually advance by 1 point. I think Alec just barely missed out, so AJ should be moving on. So a couple teammates there moving into the Championship 4. How do you feel about going into next week at Atlanta? Going out there.
Well, it's going to be hopefully a fun race. Just depends on where the temperature is at the track and the setup and of course everything, of course. But I mean, I'm pretty good at Atlanta and pretty big variety of cars. So I'm excited in that aspect. It's just gonna be a very stressful race, just making sure nobody pulls any quick moves on us, and just trying to have a race like tonight where we felt like we were in control from the beginning to the end. Even when we weren't leading, it just felt like I had more control than the guys around me. So if I could just have that next week, I'll feel pretty good. There's gonna be some probably complications if AJ did move on. I mean, AJ racing his teammates for the championship. So I'm hoping that if he did move on and we're racing each other, hopefully we can have a good clean battle, and hopefully one of us two can bring it home. Hope preferably me though, of course.
Yeah, we'll see if you can. You've already won 7 races this season, and you're looking for that 8th win. This is, I believe, the most we've had anyone win since AJ won 9 back a couple seasons ago. So dominated this season, and again, kind of tonight, a summary of how you've run all season long. So congrats on the victory, and moving on. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to you guys for broadcasting, league owners for putting us on, sponsors, like I say every week. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't be able to do all this. So big thanks to them, and obviously teammates. I know Bristol isn't one of those teammate tracks, but all season they've just been helping me out. So hopefully we can just get into that last race one more time. And like I said, if it's me and AJ battling for it, hopefully one of us two can bring it home for the team.
Right, Zach. Well, congrats again, and looking forward to see if you can go and cap things off with a championship next week. We'll catch you then.
Sounds good, Adam. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was race winner Zach Carr. We're going to go to second place finisher now. That is Angelo Ronis. And Michael, I believe you're with him.
Absolutely. Angelo, Michael in the B-Speed booth. How you doing?
Yeah, doing fine, man.
That was a heck of a run there at the end, man. What did you need more to catch Zach there?
I think I would have benefited a little bit if I had a little bit more, just more wear in the tire. I mean, I was doing everything I can to get to him, and there were a few laps where I knew I was catching him, and both of us I know were pushing the oil temperature. That we were trying to look at that, but yeah, I think we were pretty equal right there at the end. But him being up front, I think I just couldn't overcome that.
Yeah, for sure. We noticed that there in the last few laps, you were actually cutting the motor off in the corners. Was that just to keep the temps down or get them down?
Yeah, that was actually something I was doing all race. My teammate Reggie, he kind of suggested doing that. That in practice we noticed after 10 or 12 laps the oil temps would get up to like 288 or so, and we saw with a few of the guys in the race that blew their motors that's pretty much what happened. So throughout the race, and there were times I had a right foot brake and clutch it, and that was able to just stabilize it for the time being, and then I was able to push it when need be.
Gotcha. Well, man, congrats on the second place. Unfortunately, you're not moving on to the final four, but go out there next week and nothing more bittersweet than finishing off with a win, right? Anybody want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, just my teammates, Zach, AJ, Reggie, Jeremy wasn't here tonight, and I know Eric wasn't here tonight, and everyone that runs this league.
Absolutely, man. Well, again, congrats on the second place finish.
All right, thank you.
All right, second place finisher Angelo Ronis. Let's go to third place now. That's going to be James Loveland. He's maybe on the podium for the first time. James, Adam in the V-Speed booth, you got me.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, James, you had a great car all night long, and consistently on the long run, you were one of the guys to beat. I think both you and Seth Hatchell were the fastest cars on the long run, along with Zach Carr. What did you need there at the end to get up there and battle for the race win? Was it just a few more laps?
Yeah, probably a few more laps. I felt like I just hit the long run car. I was trying to pass 17 there at the end, but every time I get up to him, my temperature was getting up. Oil temperature was getting up to 285, and I just didn't want to blow the engine and cost a good finish. So, yeah, I just need a few more laps there. Also, even on that long run with Seth and Carr there, I felt like I would have caught him towards the end there, and we would have had a good battle for the win if the caution didn't come out.
Yeah, it was definitely going to be close there because Seth was, I think, about 4/10, and you had closed up quite a bit over a few laps there. But we've been watching all three of you guys and watching the lap times, and it was going to be a fun race, but ultimately not how it went. You end up on the third place finish here tonight after starting in third. And we do go to Atlanta next week for the season finale. Do you think you'll make it out there, and how do you feel about going out there if you do?
Yeah, I feel like it'll be a pretty good race. As long as I do pretty well with that package, I feel like that package with the 550 high downforce has been kind of not doing well for me this season. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's not a bad track for me, and try to do my best to keep up front and have a solid finish.
Yeah, definitely a high tire wear type of track, and you're definitely one of the best on the long run in conserving the tires. So we'll see if you can cap off the season with a victory. But third place tonight, great run for you here. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to you guys at V Speed for doing the broadcast, and shout out to the league for letting us do this. It was a pretty fun race tonight, and enjoyed it.
Awesome, James. Well, congrats and go celebrate, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
That is James Loveland, third place finisher here tonight. But once again, your race winner is Zach Carr. For the 7th time this season, the 27 machine takes it home, and he is going to be moving on to the Championship 4 to fight alongside Seth Hatchell, Anthony Pelican, and I believe it is going to be AJ Stravato. We've got to get confirmation. We can get that here. I believe it's 1 point, though, is how AJ Stravato is going to advance in. Alec Martinez came up 1 spot short of making it through. So let's go through the rest of our results here and find out where your favorite drivers finished in tonight's race. Do a quick recap. 6 cautions, only 3 lead changes. Zach Carr made 2 of those lead changes under green and went on to win tonight's race, holding off Angelo Ronis by 0.6 of a second. James Loveland third. Reggie Ortega with a strong performance tonight finished in 4th. Seth Hatchell, after the late incident there, able to charge back up to 5th. So good run for him after running in the top 3 all race long. Alec Martinez finishes 6th tonight. Alan Dice finishes in 7th. 8th position was Jeremiah Vincent. 9th was Dallas Sullivan. And 10th was Lyle Solfridge with a great run here. 11th was Lane Solfridge. 12th, Timmy Emanuele. 12th, Timmy Emanuele. 13th, Brandon Pearl. 14th, Josiah Vincent. 15th, Cody Adkins. 16th, AJ Stravato should be able to squeak in here. Actually, we'll have to just confirm that these are the right results. I'm seeing 15th for AJ, showing 16th on the scoring here, though. Dennis Faircloth right behind him there. Chris Simard, Anthony Pelican, and Zach Smith rounding out the top 20. In 21st position, it was Keith Maotto, 22nd, Ryan Gemmel. So Keith going to be eliminated after getting involved in the accident there, with Gemmel going around in front of him. And it's going to be interesting. We'll see if we can get confirmation on the points. I'm going to take a look right now, and maybe they've already calculated it. Should be really tight between AJ Stravato, Alec Martinez. Right now, it looks like it's a tie. Yeah, it is a tie. And Alec Martinez, find out if he wins the tiebreaker. I believe it's best finish in the round. Alec 9th, 6th, and 6th. Whereas AJ finished 7th, 4th, and 16th. So I think by nature of that, AJ should be moving on with a 4th place finish last week in Talladega. So it all comes down to that tiebreaker, which is just absolutely crazy when it looked like it was going to be easy for AJ Stravato or maybe Keith Maotto to move on. AJ just edging out Alec Martinez. So what a crazy turn of events late in this one. And what a crazy race overall with all the different storylines and drama. Ultimately, Zach Carr finding victory lane. Any last thoughts before we head out for the night, Michael?
You know, I can't believe how after that wreck with Seth Hatchell, that's probably my biggest takeaway is he went almost basically nose first in the inside wall, and to come back to finish 5th. I mean, that's incredible. You know, so that resilience, even though he was already locked in, I mean, that resilience right there is what it takes to win a championship, in my opinion. So that's my biggest takeaway. Other than that, just the consistency with some of these drivers, the patience.
Yeah, I agree. I think Zach Carr, obviously, he's had the most success throughout the whole season. Seth Hatchell has really come on. I think he may have been the top driver in this round, and maybe peaking at the right time. We'll have to see how these guys all fight for it next week, but should be a really great race, and we'll head to Atlanta for that finale. We won't want you to miss it. Tune on in same time next week right here on V-Speed for the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series finale. It'll be the last race in the Gen 6 cars in this league, and next season going to the next gen machine. So tune on in. 4 drivers fighting for the championship right here on V-Speed. If you enjoyed the race, check out all the different social media you see on your screen, and we hope you enjoyed. Hit that like and subscribe button if you did, and we will catch you all next week.